One of the pieces of Connecticut's complicated environmental policy puzzle is the trash-to-energy plant in Hartford's South Meadow neighborhood. The plant has been converting waste from dozens of towns into energy for decades, but its operator, MIRA, which is short for Materials Innovation and Recycling Authority, says it won't have the funds to continue operating the old plant after August 31st. This is going to force MIRA's towns to take on the expense of trucking their waste to landfills in other states. Katie Dykes, the commissioner of the State Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, says that's a huge step backwards. I'm Adam Chiar with CT News Junkie, and this week I spoke to the commissioner about the future of the plant. What are the immediate next steps after this plant shuts down?
If MIRA shuts down this facility and we see all of this waste being redirected to out-of-state landfills, it's going to be, that's not going to be, we can't tolerate that as a long-term solution for the waste need of the state. It's bad for businesses and towns because, those out-of-state landfills are filling up and closing over time. And so there's going to be a lot of unpredictable costs, as well as it's a major step backwards in meeting our environmental objectives for the state.
And you were saying it's unpredictable if we have to send our garbage out of state. Well, what are some of those factors? What makes it unpredictable? What are some of the pitfalls that could come from that?
Well, there in the Northeast, there aren't a lot of landfills, a lot of landfill capacity. So some towns will find the ability to enter into contracts, but as those landfills fill up and close, our waste will have to be trucked farther and farther distances to the Midwest and beyond in order to find a place for disposal. And so the unpredictability around having, where that waste will go, and potentially the higher costs for shipping it to further distances will introduce more volatility and unpredictability to the costs that businesses and towns will be paying for waste disposal.
Let me give you points of view that are counter, and I would just like you to respond to it. So one is, look, okay, maybe it's more expensive in the long term, but the garbage is leaving the state. It's not in our backyard, especially in this case for the Hartford community. So isn't this in a way also a good thing, the fact that we don't have this garbage in our state? How do you respond to that?
Well, again, I think we're putting a lot of faith in other states to keep their landfills open and maintain that capacity on our behalf. We shut down our landfills for the most part 30 years ago. Other states are going to be making similar choices. Well, there's only so much capacity for processing waste in waste energy facilities, for example, or in those out-of-state landfills. So while a town that's not participating in MIRA may feel that this doesn't affect them, it certainly does. The prices that other waste energy facilities charge for taking waste has always been capped to some extent by the competition that they have from MIRA. And conversely, what that means is that every town in the state, whether they're a MIRA town or not, can make an impact by adopting more progressive solutions for waste management, whether that's textile recycling, whether it's increasing, improving the education around recycling to increase the recycling rates, whether it's implementing organics collection to get those heavy, wet food scraps out of the waste stream. There are so many different solutions. There's a lot of flexibility for towns in terms of the types of policies that they can embrace that will make a real impact in reducing the amount of municipal solid waste that needs to be burned or exported to a landfill out of state.
Is there any chance of this plant still operating after August 31st? I mean, I'm hearing that it's almost a done deal, but is there a way? And then how does that happen?
We know that the MIRA team has been very focused on trying to get the electric ratepayers of the state to provide a very significant amount, hundreds of millions of dollars of subsidy in order to rescue this facility and keep it going. But we're not, that's not something that the Lamont administration has been supportive of. Just the sheer enormity of that cost in a facility that, again, is a technology from decades ago. We think that there is some level of support and investment that could really catalyze some great solutions here, but we need to look to more innovative technologies and solutions